Hey guys, it's Cyrus of Chaos. Today I'm here with Justin Yoo, and we're going to be watching this bout between Max Heinzer and Park Sang-young from the 2017 Doha Grand Prix in the top 8. So, Justin, you want to introduce yourself and we can set up the bout?
All right. Hey guys, I'm Justin. I'm 22 years old. I go to the University of Pennsylvania. Um, I've been fencing Epee for about like 15 years now. I guess my claim to fame would be when I got bronze at Junior Worlds and Cadet, or second at Cadet Worlds in the same year. Right now, I've been trying to make the Olympic team, and I took a gap year to do so, and it hasn't been going great, but yeah, just gotta keep doing it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Park Sang-young, I'm definitely biased towards him because he's my hero, and I've been friends with him since I was, I think, 16.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah, he's such a great guy. Um, his fencing style is very unique in that he'll really force people to play the game that he wants you to play. So he like starts with like kind of the same, not kind of very similar preparation to set up four different actions, which is like his straight flush, the two post, the duck, and the foot touch that he has, and he'll cycle through those. So it's literally impossible to like really know. If you don't try to like break him away from that, it's really hard to like know which action is going to come next. So it's very difficult to fence against. Max Heinzer is sort of a wild card. I have it on good authority that he's a genius. There's like it's so difficult to tell what he's gonna pull out next. Like I like both of these fencers have incredible technique, incredible speed. They're very powerful fencers. But I think this bout is a really good lesson in showing that how to like force your game onto like the other fencer when the other fencer also stubbornly wants to do the same thing too.
Yeah, that's a good
And,
point. And you said before that Park is so good at that. And when you said that, I was like, Max is also a fencer who like forces people to do what he wants. So
yeah, both of these fencers just really want to like have the other play their game because the moment they stop doing that, like then they're at such a disadvantage and then step behind.
yeah, and it's kind of funny. I always think of Max Heinzer as like a musician who jams as opposed to a musician who plays sheet music.
Yeah, he
So
really freestyles.
yeah, and a lot of this stuff, it. I'm sure he doesn't practice the actual preparations, but he's got like great point control and he knows how to make you react to him. So a lot of this stuff is just like, like you said, freeform. He just kind of makes it up on the spot to kind of
Yeah,
suit the
the
person.
the thing. Oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I was just saying he makes it up on the spot to kind of suit the person.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree with that. But the thing is, like, both of these fencers have like incredible technique and incredible speed and just incredible training, like behind what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why it works.
Yeah, a lot of people see someone like Heinzer and they think that he does not have good technique, but you need to have good technique to execute things the way that he does. And
It's
there's a
impossible to do it without it. Yeah,
yes, and I think there's there's something to understand that like having good technique is not being in like the perfect position necessarily like a Hungarian is at all times. It just means being able to control yourself well and not put yourself in a disadvantageous position because of your balance or your hand position. And
yeah,
Heinzer does that. Even though it's not like classical technique, he's really good at his own technique, if that makes any sense.
yeah. It's yeah. I definitely have like a kind of. I get annoyed when people say like this person has clean technique because it's very like vague. Like clean technique is like everyone has clean technique. It's just like kind of how they do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does everything in time, and that I would qualify as like good technique.
Yeah, totally. All right, want to jump into the bout?
Let's go. Oh, is it? There we go.
Right off the
All right,
bat.
so both of these. Here, can we?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. If you want to pause, if you want to go back, just go
okay.
ahead. I'm gonna go back to before the first touch while you're talking. Go ahead.
All right. So one interesting thing is that both of these fencers have fenced each other like before, like a good amount of times. So to see Max Heinzer just immediately like, or to see even both of them just be so aggressive with each other off of the line is interesting to like think about because I Park Sang Young beat Max Heinzer 15-4
At the Olympics.
at the
Yeah,
Olympics.
that was crazy.
It was crazy, but Max Heinzer was trying to keep larger distance during that bout, and I think that kind of gave Park Sang Young the space to set up whatever he wanted to set up. So Park Sang Young was able to play his game over Max's. So for Max to like really be strong off the line is definitely a cool change to see.
Okay, that's interesting.
All right, let's keep going.
Whoops. This program is a little buggy, but
Okay, first touch. But yeah, they're really just testing the waters right now to see what's going on.
pretty aggressively.
Yeah, it's not a bad way of doing it. Like really like checking if the other fencer is like willing to fight like right away.
Yeah. Like you see on the back strip, like that's a much more traditional way of testing the waters.
Yeah, just like kind of edging your way in, but they're going headfirst into the deep end.
Yeah, yeah. There's the two you were talking about.
Yeah, he's really good at that. It works on everyone. I swear to God.
It's a huge, yeah, there it is again. It's a huge action as well. Ooh.
Yeah, he tried to do the same thing again. I think Max read that pretty well, but we'll see what the refs have to say. A lot of this is like they're pre-planning their touches, which is interesting to see. Like usually in Epee you don't do that.
Yeah, that's more of a Saber thing.
Yeah, they're really going at it.
I think, though, Max is like the most Saber-ish fencer of all the Epee fencers, and Park might be another one.
Yeah, a lot of Epee fencers don't attack off the line because it is a little risky since the distance starts pretty far.
Yeah.
But these guys are so fast and so strong that they're able to do it well. But being able to attack off the line, I think, is a really good option.
Just to show the other person that you can do it. Wow. That was aggressive as well. So the previous touch was annulled because of KOR because of Max's leg, right?
Yeah. Oh, we should pause.
Yeah.
There's so many actions going on.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I actually have a pretty good point to bring up. How do I pause this?
There's a button in the lower left corner.
Oh, it's not paused.
I got it. It's fine.
Oh, okay. So one thing to think about in epee fencing that I think a lot of younger fencers don't think about is that the time between points is also pretty important.
Very important.
So like the rhythm of the bout can really change if you either speed up like the amount of time that happens between a point or slow it down. So one way of doing that is either just executing your action as like simply as you can with like as little preparation as you can, or doing like a crazy amount of preparation.
Go on.
Oh, sorry. I think, it's Max Heinzer and Park Sang Young are like really, really good at changing like the rhythm of how the bout's going. Like suddenly you're very uncomfortable because you're not used to someone just attacking you every 3 seconds.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like if like for example, someone was attacking you every 3 seconds and then they
slow it down,
another minute, like suddenly like you're also in like a weird position of are they actually going to attack me now or later? So like it's kind of like a weird little mind game that happens while you're fencing.
Yeah, that's funny. From a Saber perspective, I never thought of it like that before. Because we're just...
Yeah, Saber has no time.
Yeah, we just attack each other constantly, so... Ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Oops.
Yeah, I think the previous touch was annulled because KOR.
Yeah.
That was a good remise.
Yeah, it was. Very fast. Didn't watch or anything. That was just like, I'm going to remise here no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they just go at it.
15 seconds and 5 touches
5
so
touches.
far.
Yeah. If you watch their hand position,
I was just thinking that. I like what they're both doing with their hands.
They're the only way. Oh wow! The
Yeah,
only
was
way
nice.
like that's possible for them to do is because they have something to protect them, like in the lower quadrant. So like Max and Parks 2 is so strong that they're willing to like put themselves in a disadvantageous position to cover like a higher line, so that they like even if like some like either of them attacks the lower line, they're ready. Like their 2 is just there.
Yeah. That's interesting. I've always wondered what would happen if someone tried to attack them at that moment.
Like they'll be fine. Like they have that too. Or even like Max will raise his hand up and then like hit you like under the hand after getting into the distance. So like technically like if you hold your hand in 4 or 7, like it's kind of the same thing as holding your hand in 6 or like 3, because like you do cover like a line. Like it's like kind of like a cost benefit thing. Like you give up like covering your 6 if you hold your hand in 4, and like as long as you have like a really good 6, you'll be fine.
So just quickly, why did Kim call for a replay here? That seemed... It wasn't a bell punch. He was using his weapon arm. That seemed fine to me.
I think that he's trying to ask about KOR again. Or like intentionally going to KOR to avoid a touch.
KOR to avoid a touch, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very, very aggressive.
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool.
This is taking a while, so we're going to skip ahead a little bit.
All right.
I just want to see what the referee said.
But the touch before, like all the preparation that was happening, I would say like Max was like had the advantage. I think he had like the strip control because he was able to like push Park like really down and choose like where to like fence.
Yeah.
Park had to like kind of back up and respect it.
Yes, definitely. I like Max's sprinter position.
I know. He's ready to go. But yeah, you see now... Oh, just kidding. I was going to say, you see how they're trying to change the rhythm of the bout, but never mind.
I mean, who knows? Max might have been trying to change the rhythm of the bout, and Park just went anyway.
Yeah. That was well timed. So the reason why Park is able to like push Max like out of like Park's own 2 meter is because he's completing his steps before Max does. So then he's able to choose to either go forward or backwards, like before Max is able to like, you know, complete his like step and have the choice. So Max is forced to go backwards.
Interesting.
But this is interesting to see that they're keeping a really large distance.
Yeah. And the footwork choices from each of them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Max's footwork is very different. Like from like conventional fencing. So you see how he's holding his hand in 4, like position, like
Yeah.
it's that choice is like very very, very interesting. It's cool.
It is cool. I like it. It's something creative and different.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very different. But the only way he can do that is because of his like technique and his like sharpness. That was a good choice off the line.
Yeah, I always say that the most important things in fencing are the things that are not happening. I'm going to pause again because it's just happening so fast. I always say that the most important things in fencing are the things that are not happening. And whenever Max is holding his hand up like that, he's trying to lure Park into doing something. And you don't get to see what that is, but you assume that he has like at least one plan for like certain things that could happen in that situation. Otherwise, people
Sure.
would have punished him into not doing that a long time ago.
Yeah. Also, if the distance is like that big, then like you literally can do anything you want.
Yeah, because you have enough time to react and protect yourself.
Yeah.
So
It's like it's totally okay. Like you literally can hold. I think I've seen Max do this, but he's like held his hand, like his weapon hand, behind his back because like it's there's nothing like the other person can do.
right
There's not
from
enough
that
time to
distance.
reach him.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like sometimes I get asked how people are able to make like attacks in Saber where they like bounce and they have their arm like back behind their leg. And the answer is because if you're in the right distance, it almost doesn't matter what you're doing. And
Yeah.
the distance control is the important thing at that point.
Hmm.
So this is kind of like the epee equivalent of that, although you don't get to see it very often.
It's often, yeah, because most people will like really stay in your face. So like the moment you try to like break distance, they'll just immediately get
Push
back
after you.
into
Yeah.
distance. So yeah, it's interesting to see Max like being able to like have that sort of distance control, and like Park is also like respecting that distance too.
Yeah. You have to, otherwise, I mean, he's scary with his crazy stuff.
Yeah, it just happens so fast.
Yeah. All right, ready?
We should back up a little because there's like an interesting kind of thing going on, like 2 touches, I think.
Okay.
Like 5 seconds ago. All right, right here.
I think so.
Oh yeah, here it is again. That's a good touch.
Yeah.
Good tempo change.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people watch Max and don't really understand what they're looking for, but like you said, like he got the touch because of a good tempo change right at the end.
Hmm.
And when you boil it down to stuff like that, it can start to make more sense to you.
Yeah. This touch is really interesting, actually.
Actually, I thought so too, because they've both been getting touches by trying to, like that one, like where they search 2 and either get it or don't.
But they both went for the 2 at the
Yeah.
same time. It's like, you know, they're kind of like going through like the tactical wheel, like off the line.
Yeah.
Like right before. So yeah, here you go. Park is now he's expecting Max to like attack in his preparation, so he goes for 2. But Max is expecting Park to like do the same thing, so he also went for like a parry,
Yeah.
and they're stuck in that weird position.
Yeah, this bout is almost like a saber bout.
Yeah, it's cool. It's also at like the highest level too.
Yeah.
Like it really goes to show you.
Look at Park.
This too. I know. I think Park is getting a little tilted. Yeah, this is happening. Peak Epee. To be honest though, here, let me pause really quick. Yeah,
Yep, I got it.
Thanks, man. So like, I think that like that whole like encounter or that whole phrase like really favors Max because like Max definitely has done stuff like this to people before, and people have definitely tried to do the same thing back. So like he's really experienced in like that sort of game.
Yeah,
with-
this is kind of what he wants.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants. But like, I definitely think that like Park has never put his bell guard to the floor, like when he's against other people. So it must be like kind of awkward for him too. But also it shows that like Park is really confident in this bout too. Like he's confident enough to like play this game for a little. To be fair though, like the score is really low. Like it's only 5-4.
So it's not a ton to
But-
lose by doing it.
Yeah, like it's yeah. He might as well like try it. Like I respect it.
Yeah. Let's go back and watch that wacky sequence again.
It's awesome. I love it. All right.
Yes, I'm very entertained. Good choice.
But yeah, this definitely favors Max. There we go. But like Park isn't attacking him, which is interesting, right? Like he still respects like the distance.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's like fencing like himself again. Oh, they're both yelling.
The yelling contest.
It's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of mental stuff going on in this bout as well.
There's a lot of mind games. I always like to like think that fencing, like at least in Epee, has like a lot of mini games involved,
Yeah,
and
that's a
like
good.
this is one of them.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
But yeah, neither of them are like really committing right now. Like that, they're like not. They're changing the rhythm of the bout, which is cool.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Max's hand is so fast.
Wow, that was nice.
Attack and preparation. He didn't retreat that time, which is cool. Okay, saluting.
Oh, this was the point before they like cared about fencing to the last second, right?
Yeah, this was I think the year before.
Okay, so as each of the coaches, what would you be telling the fencers during the break?
If I were Max's coach, I probably would tell him to I think keeping the distance, like in this situation, far from Park is working to his advantage because Park isn't really like taking advantage of like the strip control that he's been given.
Mm-hmm.
So like, as long as Park doesn't get like close like that, which is like where he's super deadly, the environment's a lot better for Max. Park should be a little more aggressive. I think he should work the short target a little more. I don't think he should commit to like a full attack, but I think he should like really try to draw out that like attack and preparation that's been happening. Also, yeah, like Park was also getting, I think, the majority of the points, like when they were like really going at each other.
Scrapping quickly, yeah.
Yeah, so like I think he should speed up like the touches. Like whatever choice he makes is probably the right one. So like if like when they like both go at each other, when they both attack each other, usually it's Parks.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think he should force that situation a little more. Yeah, Max is trying to keep the larger distance. Park is going short target.
Park looks a little more comfortable doing this right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the break was good for him. Oh.
Wow, that was fast, and Max still got one light on that one.
Yeah. His feeling is really good. Staying low to the floor like that too, I think makes it hard to hit him. So you see how his chest is kind of like 45 degrees with the floor?
Yeah, the angle.
Yeah, it's like kind of hard to like, you have to like hit him on the shoulder. So like getting to that point is like really difficult.
I mean,
I
can tell you even just in Saber, like getting really low on defense, people don't really understand what they're supposed to do about it.
It's not easy.
And it's obviously a lot easier to hit in Saber than it is in Epee, so. Ooh.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
so
I thought...
Max was covering the lower lines, but Park just decided to attack into it anyway because he thought that... I think he knows that like Max wants to like cover like the higher lines if he's covering the lower lines right now.
Mm.
So that was a good choice.
Yeah. Also, Max's reaction has been to counterattack almost every time Park puts him under pressure. It hasn't been any of his like huge sweeping parries. Once you get out of the scramble situation.
Sorry?
Once you get out of the scramble situation, like like in the beginning when they scrap, he's been parrying a lot. But once they're in like this situation, it's almost always a counterattack.
I agree with it. Park is really fast, so like getting the parry is hard because he probably can just remise it.
Yeah, maybe.
So like keeping a larger distance and counterattacking is probably the best option.
Wow. Oh yeah, okay. I was gonna say that didn't look like it had any chance of hitting.
Yeah, that was... yeah, But yeah, it's very different than the last period. Like the last period, by this point, they're at like 5-5.
Yeah.
I like Max's change. He's being more aggressive in his defense.
Yeah, it looks almost conventional right now.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
It's crazy that both of them, usually their hand positions are in like the same position.
Yeah, no matter what that position. Wow, that was nice.
Was a good touch. Yeah, he really drew out the counterattack. Now Max has to figure something out.
Ooh.
Which that wasn't a bad option either.
Yeah.
Second intention parry post.
Did you get a yellow card for that?
Yeah, because KOR.
Yep.
To avoid a point. Yeah, Park is really trying to draw out that counterattack. But Max isn't biting. There's a lot of absence of blade involved, which is cool because both of them really like to. I guess not anymore. Both of them really like heavy blade actions. So for them to both go to, it's like a game theory type of thing, where if one of you will keep your blade up. Then it's very difficult for the other. It's very difficult to actually defend against a really heavy blade action.
Mm.
This period was kind of interesting.
Yeah, almost nothing happened. Well, almost no points were scored. It was 7-5 going into the third period, the second period, right?
Yeah. I wonder what they're gonna do next. It's kind of hard to know.
Yeah, it's impossible to predict. And also, this period was a little different because last time they chose to let the period go with almost 20 seconds left, and this time Park pushed him till the last second.
Yeah. It's hard to know why he chose to do that. Maybe he thought he had the advantage at that point. But yeah, I think one cool thing is that their hand position is kind of mirroring each other.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. You could see that more in the first period than you could in the second. It was very obvious when Max had his hand up in the air and Park put his hand up in the air.
Yeah.
Or like you said, when they both had their hand on the strip. That was pretty cool. Mm-hmm.
Max is being more aggressive. I like that choice actually more. Not giving Park the space to
bouncing it out and set up. Yep.
Yeah, this is good for Max. Probably gonna get the point. Yeah. Yeah, really. It really changed the environment too, because before he was trying to keep the space between them a lot bigger, but now he's just staying in his face.
Yeah.
It's working. Now he knows he has the momentum, so he's trying it again. Or was. I think Park is trying to break the momentum too. That was a good touch. They're both really just trying to counterattack each other.
Yeah, let's see that again, because that counterattack looked so lazy to me.
I know.
Well, Max is...
They're probably tired, too, after the first period.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That seemed real weak to me.
They're just really sharp. Also, I think being relaxed in that situation is good for Park. That was a good touch. But yeah, every time they go at each other is very good for Park. For some reason, I guess during this match or during the day, Like Park is making like the right choices in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, let's go forward a little.
I think, yeah, they give it to him. All right. As the score gap like gets closer to 15, it's interesting to see like what choices they'll make next. Like whether to like keep up like the intensity or like play a safer game.
Yeah, they are doing a lot of absence of blade.
Yeah, because both of them don't want to get their blade taken.
Ooh,
like
that was really good.
Yeah, that was a good 4. Max's 4 is really strong.
Yeah, that riposte looks really easy, but it's not. That's
It's really,
very
really
difficult
not.
to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. Good. Oh,
Again.
Yeah, his 4 is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, his wrist is really flexible.
Yeah. Oh my god, how did he get out of that situation?
Yeah, I think Max kind of messed up.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, yeah.
That was a gift for Park.
He kind of slowed down when he shouldn't have. Should have just kept going as quickly as he could. Because he was closing the distance faster than Park was retreating.
Yeah, and that miss is big because 12-9 is a lot different from 11-10.
Yeah, it's huge.
Another 4. Oh my god.
He's feeling that. Nice.
Ooh.
Every time in the middle. Except for maybe once. Wow, that was a really that was a really powerful launch.
Yeah, it was.
Man.
If
He's
you
walking away from a crime scene.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to pull him up, but Max wants to sit down.
I don't want to be pulled up. Yeah, exactly.
That's fair. You should probably ask for a replay on that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't think they'll give it to him because they both lunged at each other. So, like, it's not really Park's fault if Max, like, hits his head on Park's bell guard.
Yeah. Home stretch.
Home stretch, yeah. Let's see what choices they make. So Max is being more aggressive. He really respects, well, that's a good touch. Oh, jeez. Man, this spot is really dramatic.
Yeah, it is.
Those are, yeah, see, like, if he, that's why, like, he was wanting to, like, counterattack. Like, the parry, like, isn't really there. Because Park will just remise it.
Yeah, I actually thought that touch was fine.
Yeah, it should be fine. He didn't pass him. I know. Alright, 12-12.
That was a great little dance, though.
I know. But, like, I will give it to Max. Like, right after that happened, and, like, maybe he, like, thought it was, like, a touch, too, and he was, like, trying to sell it. But right after, he just got, like, right back into it. Like, so focused.
Yeah.
That's, like, really high level. Okay, disrupting the blade. Leg touch, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was keeping his hand higher to mask like the target he was going to. He did like the same half step preparation too, to like look like he was looking for like the two repose, but instead he went to the leg.
Yeah, I can see what you mean about all the preparations leading to different actions being really hard to like defend against.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a strong reaction, huh?
Yeah, it's getting closer to 15, so like you have to take everything seriously.
Yeah, you have to react a little more.
Yeah.
So Max now has 20 seconds to make one touch happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know about this choice.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Oh. Oh. Oh.
So he wants a red card for turning?
Yeah, I don't think Max turned, honestly.
No, he didn't. It's not turning, like the context matters. So yes, he did turn his back relative to like the position he's in now, but he was just following Park right here. So
yeah. Also, I don't really blame him for kind of turning. There's a bell guard in your face.
Yeah.
The two fingers up in Korean. It's like used really like pretty liberally. I think it's like Park is saying that like yeah, Max has been like asking for videos like this entire time too. I think both of them are getting kind of tilted with each other.
It's funny. Usually, you see one person getting frustrated and the other one like kind of orchestrating it, and they could be both getting frustrated here. Ooh, it is a red card for turning.
Oh, wow. I would have called KOR for Park. But, wow.
Yeah, that was a really important decision.
Yeah, 12-14 is different than 12-13.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with 12 seconds left.
I think Park is going to try to end this. Oh, maybe not.
Come on, camera.
Oh, no, the camera. Oh, we can't even see the last... Oh, wow.
Well, that
camera...
that is a big mistake from the camera guy.
Yeah. Thank God there's no replay. Like asked. Yeah. Can't tell you much about that one.
No.
Oh. I can't.
Oh, my God.
Park probably just counterattacked and Max, like, flushed. Yeah, there are definitely some questionable calls from the referees. I've always said that there probably should be, like, one more video camera, but from, like, the other angle. Like, so, like, next to, like, the machine. But that would be, like, really expensive and probably in, like, a dangerous position.
Yeah, the more like moving parts there are to it, the harder that is to actually like implement. And yeah, they're trying to make it as simple as possible already anyway. So
yeah, but even just having like video right now is so important.
Yeah, it's great. And there have been 2 tournaments in Cairo this year where there was video, but for some reason it wasn't streamed and there was no video uploaded afterwards. And it's amazing how like upsetting it is when you're used to having the video as a resource and then suddenly they don't do it. So I mean I'm really happy that they started doing that.
You did the same thing in Buenos Aires last year.
Oh really?
Yeah,
it's annoying. Brings me back to the days when I was the only one videoing anywhere. So
yeah, you had that monopoly going.
Yeah.
Yeah, this bout was really cool.
Yeah, it was very different from most Epee bouts I've seen.
Yeah, I really so like also the body types of Park and Max are like kind of a dime a dozen if you think about it. So like there's so many right-handed pistol grip fencers who are 5'11". There's so many of them, but they really distinguish themselves because of like the choices they make. Like it's not like anyone can, like, if you think about it, can have really good technique. You can work out a lot, you can get that speed, but because they found a way to like make it harder to fence them. That's why they're winning more than, like, for example, like me. Like, like as another 5'11" right-handed pistol grip fencer.
Yeah.
Like they're really like, I honestly think they're like geniuses for like the way they like approach their bouts.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've been appreciating this more and more, having done more epee related content with people recently, about how much the height and the handedness and the choice of weapon affect your game plan. And that may seem really obvious. That may seem really obvious, but as a saber fencer, unless the person is really tall, I won't change my plan at all. And for me, whether they're left or right-handed is completely irrelevant. So it's just like a very different thing to think about.
There are some fencers in epee like that too. I think like the higher level you go, the more you see people like stubbornly sticking to what they're good at,
Just doing
like
their
forcing
thing.
like and just executing it
Yeah.
at like the right distance at the right time. And because it's so strong, even if you know it's coming, like for example, Curtis, his that like feint to the foot flesh, it works on everyone. I swear to God. People know it's coming, but it's just so strong and so fast. Like you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and the setup for it is what makes it so convincing, right? Because you may know it's coming, but then like you feel very threatened, so you react to it, and then before you're even aware of what's happening, like in that action, he's already coming towards you. So.
Yeah, I think the most telling thing about it is that like Park and Max also have like a similar like technique. For example, like Park's like 2 riposte, and I think it's flesh. They're like so hard to deal with. And Max's he has this like 4 coupe 6 flick to the chest that he does, and like that also looks like it really works on everyone too. So like having something like that in your arsenal forces people to respect like the distance that it forces them to respect like the distance between you guys, like when you fence.
Yeah, totally. If you have something that you're known for that makes people scared of you, then going into a bout, they're already thinking about it, and that is a huge advantage in itself.
Yeah.
There's
so many good Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna tell you a story about myself. The first time I ever heard anyone talking about me was I was fencing a knack, and I was about to fence someone in the 64, and I was on my way back from the bathroom when I walked past that guy having a conversation with his coach. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about how strong my counterattack was, and how he's like, so when you fence him, just make sure you don't get counterattacked. And as I was walking back to my bout, I remember thinking, I'm not going to counterattack that guy at all.
Yeah.
And it was such an easy bout for me, because he was so scared of my counterattack. The only touch I used it on was the last touch of the bout, and I didn't need to, because he was so scared of it that he just kept falling short. And like having the threat of something like that someone feels like they have to play around is a really good tool to have, because like you say, it makes the person respect something about you before you ever actually start fencing the person. I'd never fenced this person before, and like going in, he was already very scared of something I was doing, and once I was aware of that, I was very willing to exploit it. So
there's also like a really interesting mind game, or like kind of like a game about it too, where like if you don't know about it, like is it actually better or worse for you? Like if, for example, like if you like, let's say that fencer had no idea about that counterattack and just like went for it. Like, would it have been harder for you or like easier for you, do you think?
I don't know. It's interesting, because I have a specific way of evaluating bouts, and for me it was pretty successful. And then because of this conversation I overheard, I went into the bout with a completely different mindset, because he explicitly said that. So I don't know the answer to that. I mean, if I hadn't heard that, I would have gone in and tried to control him with my counterattack before switching to something else, but I didn't even need to. So I don't know. I think it depends on the person and how they how they go into the bout. So,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, like back to the video. Yeah, I think like the most important takeaways is like the timing between touches. Like the preparation was pretty cool in that like they're both like really masking, like what they were like, what their final action was going to be, which is like kind of sounds a little obvious, like saying it out loud, but like I think a lot of fencers like don't remember to do that. I think another thing that was cool was like knowing your opponent before fencing them, like, and coming in with a plan. But like, if your plan doesn't work, you gotta change.
Yeah, totally.
Young did like a really good job of like being aggressive, because he saw that Max was giving him like that space.
Yeah, and it was really interesting to see the different phases of the bout. Like, in the beginning of the first period, they were both just crazy aggressive. Like, I think we said less than 15 seconds in, there were already 5 touches scored. And then, yeah, and then the rest of the period was a lot slower. And then the second period was, like, very back and forth. But, again, almost no touches were scored. And then the third period was much more aggressive again. But a different kind of aggressive. So it was it was cool to see, like, the tactics change so much over the course of the bout.
Yeah. Yeah, that summarizes it really well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
good choice. Thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it again soon.
Yes, sir.
We both have plenty of time in quarantine, so.
Yeah, we do. Man. All right.
Perfect.
Have a good day, dude.
Thanks, Justin.